Hello my dear viewers, it's me Beata from horoscopesandreadings.com, and today I would like to discuss one very interesting topic: how to spot or identify player in a natal chart. This topic was actually suggested by one of my viewers, so thank you very much once again for that. Today's modern society, the term player is very much used, especially by women, because we all really want to find out what is this guy about, if he's just playing around of, or if he is playing with other girls or flirting with other girls, if he really wants to commit with us, because guys, this is really the question, right? I work with my clients because I am specialized in relationship astrology, and let me tell you, almost every woman wants to know if the guy will commit, okay? So, this is very sensitive topic and I approach it very seriously. So, first, let's take a look what dictionary has to say about the word player. I like the definition, even though it's from Urban Dictionary, but I think it's very accurate, right? Because in my opinion, player type is someone who is very charming. It's someone who is sort of trickster, and he is very good with words, okay? So we women are prone to believe the words, right? Now, I would like to start with houses, but before I start, I would like to tell you that, of course, I will not cover everything, so really feel free to comment under the video and we will stay in touch, and I read all the comments, even suggestions, so really feel free to type whatever you want into the comment section, and I will check it out, okay? So when it comes to houses, I will mainly talk about 5th house, 8th house and 12th house. Then I will cover some aspects, but first of all, we really have to be aware that if someone has these tendencies or qualities, this person has to have more than one, okay? So if you find out that your guy has just one, don't worry about it, because it is probably not that important, okay? But really, if you have a chance, you can definitely contact your astrologer or me, because I work with it daily, so I believe that I'm able to answer your questions, because astrology is such a complex, and if we really focus on one aspect only, it will not tell us whole picture, okay? And big picture or whole picture of your natal chart or their natal chart is really, really important, okay? So let's start with the 5th house. 5th house is the house of fun and pleasure. We really find sexual encounters in the 5th house, but only those that are not that serious, okay? So no serious commitments are found in the 5th house. That's why I think that someone who is the player, and I've seen this in the charts of males, this person has to have one of, in my opinion, these planets in the 5th house? It's Mars, it's Sun. I mean, it can be Venus to some degree, but Venus in the 5th house, I think, is not that important. Now, the most important thing with the 5th house is that this planet, personal planet, Sun or Mars, has to be damaged. And I forgot, sorry, Mercury as well. So Sun, Mars or Mercury, no matter the sign in the 5th house, but damaged. By being damaged, I mean one of these 3 planets has to have difficult aspect to Neptune or Pluto. Okay? Now, why Neptune or Pluto? Neptune is, with all respect to Neptune, planet of illusion. So someone who has a lot of Neptune in their chart is very much delusional themselves. Okay, sometimes these people are not aware of it, but in most cases they actually are. Okay, these people are very much prone to deceptions and lies, and if we combine, for instance, Mercury and Neptune in the natal chart, in the 5th house, we have someone who lies constantly. And this person is really not able to really distinguish between true or lie. Okay? I actually have my blog or article about this aspect, Mercury and Neptune, on my website, horoscopesandreadings.com. You can check it out. It's absolutely free. And I talked about this aspect in more depth. Okay, 5th house is really a house of fun. So someone who has like Sun in difficult aspect to Neptune or Pluto is someone who is constantly seeking attention. Okay, 5th house is the stage house. It is really Leo house. So that person wants to shy, but he really he's not afraid to use tactics and strategies that are not so fair. Okay, so in my opinion, 5th house, if includes these planets that are damaged, it really talks about someone who is the trickster, who is that sort of magician. This is someone who can promise you the world, but really, doesn't follow through. Okay, Mars and Neptune in the 5th house. I mean, this combination is, in my opinion, can be even dangerous, because Mars and Neptune doesn't talk about lies, verbal lies, but these are that sneaky behavior. Okay, I really like to compare Mars and Neptune to sneaky behavior of someone, and I mean, this can be really hurtful. Okay, and in the 5th house, it is house of pleasure, so this guy really doesn't have any problem to not only lie about his income and to really pretend that he is someone who is actually not, but also he can I don't know, he can arrange things to look certain way, like he lives in some house, but reality will be that it is actually not his house, but he just asked his friend to be in that house for a couple of hours with you. So it is really that action behavior which is very sneaky with Mars and Neptune, so watch out for that really. Now 8th house is indeed house of deep intimacy, but in the 8th house we really find shit we want to hide in front of others. Okay, so whatever is covered and we really want to deal with it, we want to hide it, it's found in the 8th house. That's why the most affairs are found in the 8th house and of course 12th house as well. So these houses are famous for that, okay? Even in synastry houses overlay, if you have someone whose planets are in your 8th or 12th house, I am always very cautious with this, how to interpret it, because this really makes us very vulnerable and sensitive, and yeah, we really have to be cautious there, okay? But when it comes to natal chart, again, Mars found there, Mercury found there, and Sun there, okay? Venus can be there as well, but from my practice, Venus is not that important again, even though of course Venus is planet of love, but in this case I would not consider it when it comes to player, okay? But we will get to Venus in a minute. So again, very same, Sun, Mercury, Mars, doesn't matter the sign, but this planet has to be damaged, so it means in difficult aspect, especially to Neptune and Pluto. I know that some of you will maybe disagree or will be curious why Uranus is not present, but you know, you would be surprised because someone with Uranus and Mars is really not a player. I mean, whoever has in natal chart aspects between Uranus and the personal planets, and these aspects can be difficult. These people are actually very truthful, okay? They are very, you know, sometimes a bit insane or very much out of box, but these people are very truthful and very impulsive, and these are not players, okay? Because who is the player? I mean, player is someone who can control themselves, okay? So Pluto definitely has to be present. So 8th house, as I have told you, is love house in a sense, but this is not that that house of love which contains roses and dinner. You know, this is something very, very different, okay? Now, when it comes to 12th house, which is really Neptune house, so if Venus is there or Mars is there and these planets are somehow again damaged, and Venus with Neptune is a big one, Venus with Mars, big one, Venus with Pluto, okay, we can consider, but Venus and Pluto, it is not player type, because these people, they get attached on someone very quickly, and it is actually pure energy, so I would not probably go into that. But Venus, Mars, Moon in the 12th house. Moon has to be damaged as well, ideally by Neptune, Mars, and that's probably enough, okay? So if you really find combination of those aspects and houses, and you know, it can definitely vary because everyone is individual, but I somehow can sense these things or problems in someone's natal chart. So it is definitely very interesting. Now, when it comes to aspects, we really cannot forget Mercury and Pluto. Difficult aspects, conjunction, square and opposition in someone's natal chart. I mean, obviously houses will be important, in which houses these planets are, but this aspect itself makes someone very persuasive. You know, these people are able to persuade you almost about everything, okay? And as I have told you at the beginning, and I mean, you already know that players are good with words. And someone who has Pluto Mercury aspect is best with words. I mean, these people can really manipulate you, and it feels natural. Okay, when you talk to someone who has Mercury Pluto in their natal chart, these people are actually very, very smart. They're actually very careful what to tell, but you know, there's a lot of strategic thinking and strategic wording. That's why this aspect definitely applies to this. Okay. Now, another aspect you should definitely take into consideration is Mercury-Neptune difficult aspect, which includes conjunction again in the natal chart. So Mercury-Neptune, in my opinion, is someone who is a liar. Okay. This person sometimes may even believe his lies, but more commonly these people are not able to distinguish between what is true or what is lie. But you know, don't worry if you have only this aspect, even in your natal chart, because we really have to consider everything: house of the Mercury, other aspects made to Mercury, sign of the Mercury. Okay, so don't worry, you may not be, you know, like a liar in a sense, but typical behavior of pure Mercury Neptune energy is that that person lies, and you know, he has no problem with that, because this is like his pattern. Okay, because in natal chart we really look for patterns behavior, right, in the first place. Okay, Venus Mercury, this aspect is also aspect of the player, but obviously there must be something else going on. But Venus Mercury difficult aspect, again including conjunction, is someone who actually talks very sweet with you. Okay, and we all know that you know, if someone is still very sweet with us, and you know, that you feel that it is just too much, and there's a lot of actually dishonesty with this aspect. Okay, these people think one thing and they tell what you really want to hear. Okay, and this is what players do, right? Because they really tell us what we want to hear, but it may not be necessarily true. Okay, they can promise you a lot with Mercury, Venus, even with Jupiter, but I didn't want to mention Jupiter actually, because Jupiter is still a very beneficial planet, and with Jupiter you promise with difficult aspects, you may promise things but you will not follow, but it is not so damaging in my opinion, or at least I didn't notice this to be that important. Okay, last aspect I want to mention in this video is Mars-Neptune. I actually briefly talked about it at the beginning, but you know, when I see this aspect in the natal chart, I pay attention to that. Okay, because I mean, we all can outgrow our birth charts, but this aspect is commonly found in politics, because this is, as I have told you, that sneaky behavior that you really take actions that are very persuasive, and you are able to persuade people with your actions, not with your words. And you know, with your actions it can be even more damaging, right? Because we women in this society, we are now smart, and we know that words don't matter much, right? When a guy promises you something, okay, he can definitely do that, but we observe actions. So we are smart women, but problem is that player, if player has Neptune and Mars aspect, these people really take actions that are very dishonest, that are, you know, that can be very damaging for us, but they somehow manage it and make us believe that what they present us is the true. Okay, so of course the tighter the orb, the more danger, right? The more aspects, the more house placements, the more danger. So before I sign off, I would like to tell you that I can definitely read your chart, your guy's chart. I make relationship horoscopes, or I can interpret any type of chart. You can definitely check it out on my website horoscopesandreadings.com, because sometimes what I have noticed, clients turn to me and they have worries, right? They worry, is my guy this? Is my guy this because he has this? But I've been in this field more than a decade now, so I'm really able to not only break it down, but to really see the big picture. And sometimes we don't have to worry because it is not that bad, but we just don't know how to interpret it properly, because when we only read those cookbooks, they are not that accurate, okay, let me tell you. But it's up to you. However, I wish you a very nice week, and if you like my channel, please subscribe so I'm able to deliver more content for everybody, because it's free for everybody and we can learn astrology together.